Hello everyone, this is Yiyun, one of the IFS 3202 students. First of all, I'm pretty glad that my project can be actually qualified to compete with other students. So for this demonstration, I'll first give a quick walkthrough on my website, and then I'll talk about some techniques I've been using when developing this project, and also some challenge I faced. So this is the first look of my website. The name is EventX, which can probably tell by its name. It is a event scheduler where you can create and join events, similar to Eventbrite, which you'll probably be familiar with. If you go to the browse page, since you're not currently logged in, this is it won't show many information about the events. Because you're not currently logged in, so this is the public page of the events. Each event has an introduction, and if you go to the view, it has a little bit detailed information, like the description, when does the event start, where it's end, and the location, the host. So when friends send you a link of this event like this, it will lead to this public event page. But as you can see, that you need to log in to see more information and actually join those events. So let's do it. I'm probably gonna skip those sign up because it's take too much time and I already created. So let's log in. So even at email.com. Also check to remember being done. Okay, so now we're logged into the EventX. This is the dashboard page, and you can view the events you've been created or joined. It has a calendar view. It shows the upcoming events as well. And this is the browse tab, which I put the main focus on this page. I spend lots of time doing this. It has a list of public events, and you can join and favorite those events. And this is the community tab, and those are the annoying red dots, some notifications. And also, it also have a profile page that loads some events you can create, and you can also edit your profile. So the main feature of my website is creating events and join those events. Pretty simple. So I'm going to only focus on the browse page, which is the core. First of all, you can see a list of available public events, and it will automatically load more if you scroll down to the page. This is using Ajax, which I will talk about later. You can also favorite those events or unfavorite and copy the link of the event. And if you go to the info tickets, you can see a detailed page of the event, like this one for stargazing. You can actually get the tickets and also share the events, and also feature event gallery view, which is using Bootstrap. Let's start by finding a event to join. Let's see. Brisbane tour. Sounds good. So we can see those description, and we can also get the tickets by clicking that. This is a pretty public event, so why not? Okay, you see, I actually successfully joined the event. If I go back to the dashboard and see my events, that you'll see it's actually been created. And also you can see the upcoming page that there's a Brisbane tour that being shown. Let's go back to the browse page. And next up, we can create an event. So if you click this, we'll see. Let's give it a name. Maybe game night. Party. I know it's not currently it's not a good time to create a party that large. So let's just pretend nothing ever happened in the real life. Let's give it a random start time. Maybe 6 p.m. We'll leave the end day. Leave the end, and also maybe it's online. We can make it online, right? This is a online event. Enjoy. So if I click next, it will go to the step 2. So all the information from the step 1 will be temporarily stored into a session. So after I click this create event button, that all the information gathered from the previous steps will and then do the process stuff and actually create the event. So I'll skip the add image as well, because the event will automatically generate a thumbnail for me. So let's click the create event, and yes, my event is online. This is the event summary, which you can take a look. You can also share to Twitter, export to PDF, and also got an event link that it shows a public link, and if you go to this page, that you'll see you're now the host of this event. So this is basically my main function of my website. Now let's take a look at how I implement my codes. I'm using PHP with code ignited frameworks. As you can see, the first technique is about implementing my Ajax class. I wrote an API class, as you can find here. So it exclusively handles all the Ajax calls. So basically, it just serves as a pure backend, and all those functions get input from HTTP requests and do the corresponding process, then sends back the response in the JSON format. Then it exits itself. So if you go to the front end, this is where I got all the, like for example, I want to get all the public events, so I can use an Ajax call, and I specify the URL using this API class. I can get a response in the JSON format. Then I can do the following display of the events. And also want to mention that there's a current limit and current offset. What it does is just in SQL you can specify the limit and the offset you want to retrieve the data. So in this case, just I want to retrieve 5 events at one load. So the advantage is it can reduce the loading time of the page, so I can load more. You can see the search model, I do have a limit function. Secondly, for the views, I have 2 main folders. One is called public and one is called secure. So what public folder does is it stores all the views that before the user has been logged in. So these are all public views you want to made it to the public. And this is the secured folder just store all the views that after user has been logged in. You don't want to show those views to the public. So this so this is quite organized. And finally, for my personal development experience, I sometimes do meet some challenges. Like for example, I found it quite hard to debug the PHP code, other than like echo a bunch of stuff, because sometimes if your code encounters error, it will nicely tells you which line of code you have been encountered. And sometimes the code just doesn't want to tell you some more useful information. And I usually use I sometimes use those accent, like a little trick. I use the exit statement, like if your if your view suddenly becomes completely blank, it probably means your code has been executed this line. So from what has been taught from this class, for example, the bootstrap. The bootstrap is it saves me a lot of time when designing the user's interface, because the most user won't notice the user interface that you might spend hours to working on. And also you want to plan your database first. Yeah, always plan your database first. I made a mistake that I start by doing the appearance first. Then if I feels like there's something missing from database, then I add column later. But since it's a relational database, that things will get messy after you insert some columns. And a little thing about the routes. You can forward this this function call to this route, so it will be much shorter and cleaner. So for example, if I go to the profile, there you can see instead of calling the user class, then the profile function, then I simply use the /Yiyun, just make it more easier to share the link. So for example, if I went to grant, yes, and you can see other people's events. Okay, so this is basically my website. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, thanks for watching.